Hi everyone, it's Wendy. I'm back today to share with you these lovely little folios. These came about because I wanted to make some gift, something to hold some stickers and little bits to give out to my junk journal ladies. And so I made these using literally bits of scraps. This is my scrap folder that I take to my junk journal class, and it's just all offcuts. These are offcuts from making these little folders. There's bits of collage, offcuts from sheets when I'm making boxes, odd bits of digital kits and prints, book pages, all sorts of stuff. I'll just shove them in here, and words and all sorts. So that is what I'm using today to decorate the little folio, and this is what it's like inside. You can put as many pockets in or as few as you wish. I've got two little pockets on the side here. This is a new punch that I've just bought, a little stamp punch, so I thought I'd put some of those in for them to decorate up, and some stickers, odd ones here and there, some little gems and pearls, charms, and again here it's all bits of my own ephemera, little stamps, but I thought these would look nice on these stamps. Trim them down to size, so they all bits that they can use in their own journals. And that all just folds up, and I've put another pocket on the back here, and bits of my own fussy cutting as well. Fold those in, fold that over, and I put one of my paper clips on with little tags in from last week's video, which I thought are rather cute. Just clip that on the side, and then it all just fastens together with a twine, and I've put a little dangle on there. I'll show you the others at the end, but let's get started. And it is basically I've got the fan on behind me because it's very, very hot here in Spain. Right, a normal A4 piece of craft paper, and what I do, I've got my measurements written down here. I score at 5 centimeters, 14 centimeters, and 22 centimeters. And then on each side I score at 5 or 6. It just depends how big you want the middle. I think 6 works better. Turn it right the way round and score at 6 again. Now I'm just going to put my scoreboard on the floor out of the way, and fold those bits up and score along the folds. Score that one in and down the sides. And there's a bit of cutting off to do, which is why you end up with some nice pieces for punching out. Just put my ruler there to stop it blowing around. So I'm going to get rid of, let's just use a marker. Let's get a bigger one. So this is going to be the fold down top. These are going to fold in, these pieces, and this is going to fold up and up. So we're getting rid of that, and these, like so. So I'm going to cut those off now, but what I'm doing is my score line is here. I'm just cutting inside of it by 1 millimetre. just so that it folds up nicely and it doesn't get hindered. So I'm going up to that score line, and the same here, just cut inside of your score line. I still may have to trim a little bit off, and keep all these bits because they do for your pockets and the circles that I need to cut for my fastener. Now this one we want more or less on the score line because that's going to be your flap to fasten, and the same on here, and again just inside the score line, and just inside this one, and just inside these. And once I fold these up, you might see that I might have to trim a tiny bit more off. So now then, where is my, there it is. I've got my corner rounder, and I'm just using the smallest one. Now this is going to be the flap from the front top. So I'm corner rounding that one. So that's going to fold down. These are going to fold in. You see how this one just sticking out a little bit there? I'm just going to trim a fraction off there. And I'm going to round those two corners as well on each side flap. So they fold in, that folds up, and that folds down. So I'm going to round the corners on the bottom flap as well. Now if you want to, you can ink all round there, but I won't do it while I'm on camera, just to save a bit of time. But what we are going to do is decorate the front flap, put something on here, here and here, put 2 pockets on the sides, and decorate these flaps. So I'll start doing that, but I won't stay on camera to do it all because it will be a little bit boring for you. But here I've just got bits of book page, so that might fit on there, which it does. So I'm just going to trim a fraction off there, just so that it fits on that flap. And I'm going to round, I'm going to use this side with the flower on, and I'm going to round these 2 corners. So I'm just going to fold that and get my corner rounder in there, and find some glue. This is my collal glue. Get that glued on while I know where it goes. Like so. I'm not bothered about all the edges being absolutely perfectly sized. This is just using my scraps up, and it makes me happy. That's the main thing. So let's find something else to go on these 2 flaps. This piece here will be fine. So I just need to measure that off, put a little mark where I want to trim it down, and the size there. So I'm just going to trim that. I'm just going to move my scraps to the drawer at the side of me, then I can get to my guillotine here, and I'm just going to trim that. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but you don't need to see me cutting a piece of paper. And I'm going to cut 2 the same for the 2 flaps. So one's going to go there and one's going to go, in fact that one is a bit too wide. Why is that flat more than that one? Anyway, I must have mismeasured, but it doesn't really matter. I'll just trim it down a bit. Get my corner rounder. So that's going to go on there. and this one on this side. So let's glue that one on. I don't know if you all have trouble with your glues in when it's heat and summer. I know some people have trouble with the oh, I can't remember the name of the glue. They can't post it in the winter months in America. But here we have trouble, well, I have trouble with my glue in summer because it is so hot in my craft room because I'm at the front of the house and it gets the sun all morning. Now I'm not moaning about it, but it just makes it a wee bit difficult for crafting. I've got the fan on behind me, so that just folds over like that. Now I want something for the middle here, so I'm just going to look in my pile of stuff. In fact, I've got a nice bread bag there which could be cut to size. Now I'm just going to switch the camera off while I do this because it'll be making the video even longer, but I'll be back in a minute when I've just decorated most of these panels. Okay, I've done most of the covering. The one on the closing flap, the bottom, the next piece, the two flaps, the bread paper in the middle, and on these two pieces here. And I'm going to put, that was just book page and a bit of collage on there. So I've cut one of the offcuts into two diagonally to make two little pockets there. So I'm just going to glue those on and then find some pieces to make little pockets on these bottom flaps. So I'm just going to stick that on that one flap. I just want to make these, like I say, to put bits of ephemera in for my junk journal group, but also if I did put one in a journal and you're giving it to somebody that doesn't really know much about junk journals, to show them that you can use junk, you know, bits of paper, bits of books, all sorts. It doesn't all have to be perfect papers that you use. You know, this is a bread bag here. Right, now I want to put a pocket there and one here, but I did find this in the little stash down there, a little picture of a tea rose, so I'm just going to glue that on there just for some interest once it's opened, like so. You don't want to make things too thick because you still want to be able to close all the flaps. So that's on there. So I need a piece of card here, so I'm just going to use the offcuts. I'm just going to straighten that edge where I cut it by hand, and I know it's got a folding, but it doesn't matter at all. So I'm just going to cut it in half lengthways, and then that will do for the two pockets, and then cut it both the same size and just about there. So I'm just going to trim that off with my guillotine, and that should do for the two pockets. I'll just put a little cut in with my circle punch. Just ink a little bit on the top piece. See, that's the offcuts that I cut off from the corners, got the pen marks on. So just put a bit of glue on three sides, and then we're down to the opening and closing mechanism, like so. I'm careful not to take it right down to the bottom fold because you still want that to fold up. And this one as well. Like I say, I'm not bothered that it's got the score line down. Oh, I should have just... oh, it's too late now. I'll have to put this one a little bit higher up because I forgot to round the corners. And I'd already put glue on it, so I don't want to get glue inside my corner rounder. So that's 2 pockets there. Now if you want to, you could put another pocket on there, even another one on there, but that's for the ladies to decide. So that's got 1, 2, 3, 4 pockets, and now let's do the closure, which is going in the center here. Now with some of my offcuts, I've punched 2 larger circles and 3 smaller ones. I think these are about 1 inch. Now I'm gluing 3 of these together for some stability, and I want to find a nice brad, and in fact let's just cut as well a little coloured piece of card, if I can find something in this little stash at the side. I did have some offcuts. There's a piece of tea stained paper or coffee stained paper, so that'll do for the top. Oops, like so. Just swizzle it round to spread all the glue around. Ink, oops, the edges. Now I have got my awl, so I'm just going to eyeball it for the middle, near enough. I'm taking it right through to make it quite a decent size hole, and I've got some lovely brads here. I don't even know where these came from. Let's just take one out, and I'm going to put that through. I don't think I've got that in the middle, but it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to put a hole in this top flap. Eyeball it near the middle. Now I'm conscious here because I want to cover the legs of the brad up with this one, and so I want it more nearer the top. Put that through like so. Yeah, you can see it's not in the middle there, but it doesn't really matter. Spread the legs out on that one. Excuse if you can hear the bangs going off. We're just starting the fiesta week fortnight here, and they always let fireworks off in the daytime, which to me seems an absolute waste, but they do. It's just the Spanish way. So I'm hiding the legs of the brad with a larger circle. So that is the fasten. Now let's find some twine. Got some lovely brown twine here, crochet cotton. I'm just putting that under the circles, tying it in a double knot, and trimming off the end, and then working out how much I need to wrap it round twice. Wrap round the circle. Oops. Get that one out the way. Now I'm leaving a bit of a tail on because I want to put a little dangle on the end. I've got some little charms. I've got little stars and little that say, that one says handmade and that one says just for you. So I'll use the just for you. Try and thread the twine through. It's a little bit of a tight fit. Go on, please go through. No, it doesn't want to play today. Go on, be nice for me, please. Doesn't want to play. Just seeing if I had the others had a bigger hole. Oh, we're nearly there. Oh, go on. No, not playing today, I'm afraid. Trying to twist the end round. Oh, yes. Ooh, got it. Right, tie that in a knot. And another one. trim off the end, not too close. So that is the little folio, and I've got my paper clips from last week. So I'm going to put one of those on the side, like so. Then I'll fill it with ephemera to give out as a little gift to my craft junk journal group. Now let me, dropping my pen on the floor. Let me just show you the ones I've done last week. That's one. Paper clip on there. This was some scraps of, I was playing with alcohol inks. That's just, thought I may as well use them. Same on there. The little punches. Some stickers. Stickers and cut out ephemera. All bits that they can use in their own journals. And little stickers and stamps in there. So that's one. And another one here. A lovely leaf brad on that one. All bits of scraps that I found in that book. That's had a belly band on. I love these little figures. I printed these. It's a digital I bought, and I printed it on coffee dyed paper, which I think makes it look really good. And again, some stickers and ephemera in that little pocket. They're all very similar. And I won't bother opening them all. But this one I made yesterday, and I did it upside down. So that is the bottom, because I put all the papers on with the writing that way. It should really have been that way, so that was going to be the top flap, but I carried on with it. So that is the little pockets, the same at the side. I put some little tags in that I found in the book. These are from G-Care, but I wasn't going to waste it, so I'll finish that off with a brad and some circles, the same as before. So that's my little make for this week. I shall try and do another video next week. Like I say, it is very hot here. I'm going to switch the fan off and I'm going to go back into the AC at the moment. So I shall see you all next time, and thanks for joining me. Please leave me a comment so that I know that you've visited, and I'll see you next time. Bye.